I am a survivor of human trafficking. After finishing university, my best friend introduced me to what she called a recruitment agency. I was very excited. I had just completed my studies and desperately needed a job to support my single mother and my 2 younger siblings. I wanted to help pay their school fees and change our family's life. The recruitment agency promised me a salary of 1,500,000 Ugandan shillings per month to work abroad as a domestic worker. That was more money than I had never imagined earning. They processed all the paperwork and assured me that I did not have to pay anything. But when I arrived abroad, everything changed. The man who picked me up at the airport immediately took my passport. He introduced himself as uncle and told me he had spent a lot of money bringing me there and that I needed to pay him back. There was no promised job waiting for me, the formal employment we had been promised simply did not exist. Instead, I spent days walking under the scorching sun trying to find work, but no one would hire me. I soon realized that many other Ugandan girls had been brought there in the same way. Their passports had also been taken by uncle, and some had already resorted to illegal sex work to raise money to pay him back and get their passports returned. Seeing this broke my heart and terrified me. Uncle eventually told me that I could try any jobs to pay back the money, even if it meant engaging in illegal sexual activities. Naively, I told him that I was still a virgin. He smiled to himself and said I was a special case. Then he told me that if I slept with him for 3 days, he would return my passport. Those 3 days seemed endless. He forced himself on me during those days, and looking back, to this day, I believe that during those days, Uncle performed strange rituals on my body. It was terrifying and confusing, and it left scars that I carry in my heart. Finally, after 3 days, he returned my passport. But getting my passport back did not mean I could immediately return home. I spent months trying to gather the money to buy a ticket back to Uganda. I reached out to my university WhatsApp group asking for help. Many of my friends read my messages, but no one responded. Then, unexpectedly, the girl I had barely spoke to in school sent me the money for my ticket. When she later visited me at home, she saw how weak and broken I was. She told me that the support I had received was made possible through Creative Youth Agency, CYA, an organization that supports young people facing crises like mine, offering psychosocial counseling, connecting survivors to medical care, and helping them rebuild their lives with dignity and hope. By the time I returned to Uganda, I was extremely weak, thin, and emotionally broken. Only later did I find out that I had contracted HIV while I was abroad. I almost wanted to commit suicide. The shame, the pain, and the feeling that I had failed my family were too heavy to carry. But when I looked at my mother and my siblings, I knew I could not leave them behind. At my lowest point, I gathered the courage to reach out to CYA. Through their support, I began counseling and received medical care, which helped me start HIV treatment and slowly heal emotionally. They also encouraged me to learn practical skills and manage my finances, giving me hope that I could one day support my family and regain independence. Even though the people at CYA did not know me before, they still helped save my life when I had almost lost hope. Sometimes I wish I had met this organization before I fell into that trap. Maybe my story would have been different. There is a saying that we should forgive and forget, but I have not yet been able to forgive my best friend who introduced me to that recruitment agency. But one thing I know is that my story did not end in that painful place. I am still here. I am healing. And slowly, I am rebuilding my life.
Download the Creative Youth Agency mobile app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store to explore our impact stories, powerful journeys of hope, resilience, and new beginnings from the communities we serve.